Hi, my name is Robin. Welcome to English Grammar Now. Today, we're going to be talking about just, already, and yet. We're continuing to talk about the present perfect. One of the things that we need to know when we talk about the present perfect is how to form past participles. In our previous episode, we talked about verbs that are irregular. Some verbs have the same past tense as they do the past participle. For example, clean in the present becomes cleaned in the past. And when we use it in the present perfect, we would say have cleaned. The same thing is true for some irregular verbs, like the verb to buy. The verb to buy in the present changes into bought in the past. And the past participle is the same. I have bought in the present perfect. But there are some verbs that are a little tricky. They might have 3 different forms. For example, the verb to do. In the past, it's did. And the past participle is done. So, to use it in the present perfect, we would say, I have done. Verbs follow a few patterns. There are a lot of verbs that change the vowel sound between the present and the past. For most of these verbs, the past form is the same as the past participle. Some examples are win, won, stand, stood, tell, told. There are also some verbs that add a T at the end. For example, keep, kept, sleep, slept, feel, felt. These verbs also have the same past form as they do the past participle. Then there are some verbs that end with OUGHT or AUGHT in the past. For example, buy, bought, think, thought, teach, taught. These are also the same between the past tense and the past participle. So they do follow some rules, but you do have to memorize them. There are some even more unusual verbs. Some of them have 3 different forms. These ones often end in N or EN. For example, eat, ate, eaten. Write, wrote, written. Take, took, taken. See, saw, seen. Go, went, gone. Do, did, done. Am, is, are becomes was and were. And the past participle is been. The to be verb is the most unique of all of them. Then there's one more category of verbs. These are the easiest ones. They don't change between the present, past, and past participle. For example, let, set, hurt. These are just some examples of the verbs in these categories. But you do have to be aware that verbs can change in unexpected ways sometimes. So you should do your best to memorize what happens to these verbs in the past tense and what their past participle is. When we're talking about the present perfect, remember that we need to use the past participle after the to have verb. Here's some examples that you can do with irregular verbs. You may want to go back and take a look at the lists we just saw. For each of these 5 sentences, see if you can put in the correct past participle of the verb in brackets. Go ahead, give it a try. Here's the correct answers to each of these questions. Have you eaten at that restaurant? Have they told anyone about their decision? Has James written the exam yet? Where have you been? Has anyone seen my glasses? We can also add these three adverbs into our sentences: just, already, and yet. They each have some unique features we need to study. The word just means a short time ago. For example, he's just left, meaning he left a short time ago. It wasn't a very long time. The word already means before I expected. If we say he's already left, it means he left sooner than I thought he would. Maybe I thought he would stay longer. The word yet means until now, but we only use it in negative sentences or in questions. So we could say, he hasn't left yet. The meaning of this sentence is, I expect he will leave soon, but he hasn't left until now. The placement of these adverbs in the sentence is also important. Just and already can come between the to have verb and the main verb. For example, he's just left. In a question, we would say, has he just left? We could also put already in the same place. He's already left. Remember that the little apostrophe s at the end of he is the to have verb. Although we've shortened it, it's still there. Already can also be put at the very end of the sentence if you'd like. You could say, he's left already. Has he left already? The placement of yet is unique again. Only again in negative sentences or in questions, yet comes at the very end. For example, he hasn't left yet. Has he left yet? Let's use these three adverbs a little more. Here's something for you to try. In each of these 5 sentences, see if you can find the right place to put just, already, or yet. There may be more than one option. Go ahead, give it a try. Here's the answers to those questions. For number 1, you could say, she's already gone to bed. You could also say, she's gone to bed already. For number 2, you might say, I'm not hungry. I just ate. It means I ate a short time ago. For number 3, it's a negative sentence, so we are allowed to use yet. We might say, we haven't got the results yet. For number 4, you could say, oh no, the bus already left. Or you could say, the bus left already. And for number 5, we could say, what a nice dress. Have you worn it yet? Here's a conversation that uses the words we've just studied. See if you can find the examples of the present perfect and the words just, already, and yet. Have you bought a present for Pat's birthday yet? No, I haven't. You should hurry. It's been 2 weeks. I have already gone shopping, but I didn't find anything. I've just bought my present. It's a book. I've asked my friend to go with me today. I'll find something. Here's the examples of the present perfect in this conversation. The first is a question. Have you bought? And at the end of it, we can add the word yet, because yet goes in questions. The second example is, it's been 2 weeks. Here you can see we've shortened the to have verb. It's been. The third has already in it. I have already gone shopping. Then we see, I've just bought. And lastly, I've asked. Notice that we've used the past participle for each of these verbs. Bought, been, gone, bought, asked. Be careful when you're using the present perfect that you know the correct past participle for each verb. Thank you for studying the present perfect with me. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye!